Good evening to you all. Today is our day 57 of this 3-month data analytics bootcamp. Like I said, this bootcamp will last for about 3 months. And today is our day 57, and it marks the beginning of the week 9. So today, like always, we used to show our outlines. That is what we are to cover for the day. So this is what we are to cover, or what we are going to cover for this day. We are going to discuss about a day 56, which day 56, as you know already, is yesterday. And we gave you assignment that has to do with you going through the data, cleaning it, transforming it, analyzing it, and creating about 15 visualizations from that particular analysis you are going to conduct. So that's a short on what we have done. But in day 55, you can recall during day 55, we discussed about different or other subsidiaries charts that you can go ahead and use, the waterfall, funnel, and the rest, all those charts that you can just use in order for you to create visualization of your analysis. So today we are going to discuss about introduction to pivot table. That's what we are going to discuss about today, introduction to pivot table. Uh, some of you that are with me right from the beginning of today's class have just made mention about this pivot table because it's just a way of summarizing your data, bringing inputs or insights and aggregates about your data. That's what this pivot table is all about. It will help you a lot in order for you to kind of treat your data in a way that it will help you have an aggregation of things related to that particular data within a short period of time. And this is one of the most simplest way of, creating visualization of a data. So all of the formulas you have learned, everything you have learned, now you are going to see there are a way that we are going to create that particular analysis within a short period of time. So I highly suggest you to use this pivot table when you are dealing with a big, very big data, so that you will not get reluctant using big pivot table and forget about all other formulas and functions you have learned within the 8 weeks period. So this pivot table, can you all hear me, please? So this pivot table is just is something that will help you to kind of analyze the data and get insight and do a lot of things with the data within short period of time. And take note, it's not going to give you the percentage, it's not going to give you the average, it's not going. Normally, what it will give to you is the counts, sum, and other aggregation. That's all what it will do for you. So all the function, the if formula, the whatever you will learn, pivot table is not going to do that for you. So please take note on that and understand that. So let's continue. Let's see how this pivot table works. So let me just close this and open the data. So this is the data we are going to use for today. I'm going to explain some things to you about pivot table so that you will know what all these are, so that you will not get confused while using the pivot table. First of all, your data must be in a tabular form. Your data must be in a tabular form. You see, as it is now, this is how your data is supposed to be. Your data also must have a header. It must have a header. There must be a header for by each. You see, this is how it's supposed to be. We have date, product, quantity, and this. Your data must have what? It must have header. So please, you should take note on that, because the data must have header. Number 3, the data must start with the first column. So if, for example, I have other columns here, let me just create it. Maybe I have like heading, for example, I just match this, or I just have, for example, sales record, or for example, Hamad Technologies, for example. There is every tendency the pivot table will not work with this. So you need to get rid of this first one and remove it, so that you will have effective way of doing the work. Next thing also, all these, please understand them and write them down. Please understand all this. And also in this pivot table, you can't use pivot table with match cells. If there is match cells, we match some cells, maybe all of them or one of them or something like that. You can't use them to use pivot table. You can't do that in pivot table. You must have a single cells. Your data has to be very, very clean like this. And also, like I told you, before you use pivot table, make sure you are done with please make sure of this. All these that I'm mentioning, please take note on all this. Before you start using pivot table, make sure you clean your data. Make sure you finish the transforming of your data. Make sure you did all the calculation that you want to do, everything you want to do. And sometimes when it comes to percentage, you can wait for the percentage until you did the pivot table, then you do the percentage or to get the average or something like that. But whatever things that has to do with transformation and this that has to do with cleaning, you need to do such before you start using the pivot table, because that what will help you to have a very accurate aggregation of the data. Because without that, if you just go ahead and do it with messy data, it's going to give you messy aggregation and whatever. So when you are to use to do the analysis of the data, you will have a very big problem to do the analysis. So you need to understand all this. So first of all, I think this data is very clean data. I clean everything. There is no any error. There is no any mistake. So everything is clean. So don't worry about anything cleaning. And issue of transforming, we are not transforming anything in this data because I'm done doing everything. So you are not going to do other things. But all you need to is you need to understand on the uh some of the headings. You need to understand the data. It has the dates, the products, ID, the product ID, the quantity, that is the cell type, payment mode. So we have cell type, we have online. You see, these are the online. You see this online wholesale, direct sell. We have payment mode, online and cash. We have product, that is the name of the product. Apart from the product ID, we have the name of the product. Then we have the category of the product. So each product has its own category. You see category 1, category 2, and the rest. And we have UOM, that is unit of measure. So we have unit of measures, it's feet, kg, all these lt and this, that what we have. So we have this unit of measure, buying price, and we have selling price. So we have the buying price and we have the selling price, and we have all the product that was kind of sold. So this is the data that we are dealing with. And data, if you look at the date, you come down, you see it's 2021 and 2022 data. That is from 1st January 2021 till 31st December 2022. So this is how the data looks like. You need to understand everything in the data. So for the amount, so the amount is not in naira, it's in dollar. That's what you are seeing. It's kind of very, very small amount, because now in Nigeria it's very hard to have something of 5 naira. It's very difficult, unless maybe you are selling balloons or something like that. So you see, this is how it is. We have 555 and whatever the buying price, and we have the selling price like this and whatever. So we are going to use the pivot table in order for us to have an insight of this data, so that we can learn some things about it. Even though, yeah, of course, tomorrow we'll continue about everything. But I think after seeing this, okay, let's continue. Let's continue, because we have 3 minutes. Maybe we are not going to renew it. Tomorrow we will finish everything. Because like I told you, pivot table is not something difficult. It's not something that you are going to, kind of take it as something very difficult to learn. It's not something that understand all this that I've just told you, so that we can just start now. So the next thing, just click in the data. Just click in the data. We are going to start using the pivot table right away. Click on the data and click insert. So when you click on this insert, you're going to see pivot table here. You will see pivot table. Just click on this pivot table on top here. Click on it. It's going to highlight the entire data. You see, it highlights everything. You see, when you come down, you see it highlighted all the data. So now, yes, we are going to use new worksheet. So that's what we are going to use. So it's going to create a new sheet for us. It's going to rename it by itself and whatever. So I'm just going to click OK. So by default, this is what we are going to have. So understand this. By default, this is whatever we did. This is where we are going to have a visual of all the pivot table fields that we use. And this is our headings. You see, we have the date, the product ID, the quantity, the sale, the payment, the product. You see, these are the headings of all the data that we have. These are the headings. So understand this. Secondly, we have this filter. Filter has to do, you know what filter did? It just filters some things for you. So there is filter for pivot table. So this number one field of pivot table, which is called filter. And we also have another field of column. So if you put anything under column, it's going to create a column for you. What is column? We already know what columns is. You know what columns is. I'm not going to say what is column. You know what is column. And we have a rows. You see this row? This row field, with whatever you put under row, it's going to create a rows for you based on that particular thing. So we have a column, we have a row, so we can create a row and we can also create a column. The last thing is values. These values is the aggregation of the values inside any field that you use in pivot table. I'm going to give you all the example of this. You are going to see how it works, but I think since we have some minutes, okay, like 1 minute to go, maybe I think we can call it, maybe I will just renew the time so that we can continue after we resume. I think that's better. That's better, I think. So let's just wait here. Maybe we'll resume after it's finished. We'll give it 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, then we can rejoin again. So if you have a question, you can ask. We only have some 59 seconds to go. If you have a question, you can write it. If you don't, maybe you wait for us. After that 5 minutes, we come back, then we continue. Because you are going to kind of see a very awesome things in this pivot table. So if you have a question, you can ask. If you don't, we have some few seconds to go so that we can resume and continue. Okay, so this is where we stopped. If you can recall, I just explained all these fields for you. The filter, the columns, rows, and values. That's what I explained. So now let's start seeing something related to this pivot table so that it will help you have an insight about it. Let's start with this product ID. First of all, I'm going to kind of work with this, not this, because yeah, energy, I think you have some noise or your voice is kind of, yeah. So I think let me put this product ID. Let me just drag it. You see, you drag. You know what dragging is. Just hold it from the top and drag it and drop it under rows. So you see, these are the products that we have. We have about 44 products. So you see, let me show you something. You see, the data is more than that. We have more than 528 records. But out of that 528 record, the unique product ID or the unique ID that we have of all the products is what? Is 44. So I can remove this also. You can untick it by removing it. Let's say products. So these are the products. You see, these are the products that we have. We have 44 products and we have, that means we have 44 ID. So now we use the product. So you see, this is the product. So now, based on this, let's say we want to know, let me remove this. Okay, let me leave it. Let's say we want to know the quantity of the product. Each product, how many maybe we sold. That is the quantity. Because you see, we have a quantity where it is, we have a quantity. This is a quantity column. We want to know each product, how many we sold. So what we are going to do is we are going to put it under values. We are going to put it under values because we want the values of the quantity. That's what we want. Please take note on this because it's calculation. We want to count each product, how many values it, how many quantity it has, each product. So for you to do that, where is quantity? You see, this is quantity. Drag it and drop it under values. So by default now, we get the summary of each product and whatever each product we sold, quantity of each product we sold. So product 1, we have this, product 2, we have this, product 3, we have this. This is what it means. So you see, in order for you to get this, you need to apply some if here for you to count the product to sum this and get this. That what it will give to you. You need to use some if, sorry, not some product. You need to use some if in order for you to get this. But now by mere doing this, we have the total sum of all the products, 44 products that we have, and we have the total quantity of what? 4,280. That's what we have. So this is number one thing to consider. So now we use the rows and we use the values of the columns. Let me do something. Let me remove this. Let me put these rows. You see, this is what it shows on under this quantity. This is what it gives us. It just gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to, because we put it not where it's supposed to be. Because this quantity is supposed to be under value because we want to calculate it. So that's number one thing. Secondly, let's say we need to know the cell type. We need to know the record of the cell type. You see, it only gives us 3 cell types. That's what we have. We have direct cell, online cell, and wholesale. So we want to know each cells, how many quantity of the product we sold based on direct sales, online sales, and wholesale. How many of them? So I will just drag the quantity also and put it under values. It will give me the total. Direct sale, we sold 2,244. Online sale, 1,443. And wholesaler is 593. This is what it gave us by default. Okay, I'm removing this, then we are moving forward. Now we are going to use rows and columns and values. That's what we are going to use. Now we want to know the product name. Let me put it first. And we want to know, okay, first, we need to know we have cell type. You see, look at the cell types. We have this direct sale, online sale, and wholesale. So we want to know each product, how many direct sales it has, how many online sales it has, and how many wholesaler sales it have. Each and every product that we have. So let me just create the product. First of all, we have this. Then for this cell type, I'm going to put it under column because I want to create the column of direct sale, online sale, and wholesale. Then by default, pivot table will create the grand total for you. So now, what I'm going to do, since I put this, I want the values. So if you want the values, then you need to drag the cell type again. We put it also here, and we need to put it also in values because we want the values of the what? Of the cell type. And this is the values of the cell type. You see, we have this 733. That's what we have, and it gives us the total of what? 13. Please, I hope you understand this. So this is what it shows. Now we know product 1, we have direct sale of 7. Online, we have 3. Wholesaler, we have 3. By default, we can know which product has more direct sales, which product has more online sale, and which product has more wholesaler sales. So that's thing that you need to understand also related to this. So let me remove this and go ahead. So for the payment mode, you see, we have payment mode of cash and online. We have cash and online. So if you want to know how many quantity of cash and online that we have, you see, we have 20,053 quantity in cash, and we sold 2,227 quantity in through online. So this is something that you can use also to go ahead and do something on it. And if you want, maybe you just don't want it like this, maybe you want to know per product how many quantity online or cash that you have, you see, is going to be like this. Then we can drag this payment mode and drop it here because it's going to categorize it for us and tell us, okay, we have 5, we have 8, we have 9, we have 6, and whatever that we are going to have. So let's continue. Let's move to buying price and sell price. So I'm going to use the kind of the products. Then I want to know the buying price of each product. So if I paste it like this is what it's going to give us. This is the money we spend in buying the product of 1, product 2, and product 3. And if I want to have the quantity per each product, I will just go and drag the quantity and put it under values. You see, it creates sum of quantity. We have this quantity and we have this amount as the buying. So if I want the selling price also, I'll drag it and put it under. Then we will have the sell price. You see, we have the quantity, we have the sell buying price, and we have the total sold price. And this is it. And for each product, that's what we just get within just some, single just period of time. So now there's something that this filter that I didn't touch. I'm going to put this cell type under filter. You see, if I put it now, it's going to create cell type on top of it here. You see, cell type, it say all. Now, if I click on this and say, no, I don't want all, I just want direct cells, and I click OK, it's going to filter everything based on direct cell for us. You see, it changed everything based on direct cell. If I click it back again, I need online cell. If I click OK, it will filter everything based on online cell. If I want it to be wholesale, I will click this. It will give me only the wholesale per each product and the sum price and whatever. So that's what this filter did for you. It will just create something that you can filter, and you will use the filter to do whatever you want, and you can make it all. That is for the direct sale, online sale, and wholesale. You click OK. And you can also create a filter based on payment mode. So you see, I can click on payment mode. I want the sell type to be all of it, but the payment mode, I want it to be cash. I just need to see the cash. You see, this is the cash. This is what you have for the total cash is 25,626. So that's what you have. So I can click here. Maybe I need online. I'll click online. You see, on online, you have 23. So you see, cash is much more than online based on the total product. And that's what this filter is. So I can filter it. I want payment mode of online, and I want sell type of online. So if I click it, it will give me this, and it will give me this amount of money. So that's what this filter is. If you want to remove it, just drag it and put it back, or drag it and just drop it somewhere. You will see it return to, you see this red, as you can see, just drop it. You see, drop it. I'll drop everything, then I remove everything. I'm back to square one. So this is number one thing that you can do with it. And all for this unit of measures, I want to know maybe how many I have feet, kg, liter, and number, how many I have. I will just do it like this. I put one here and put values here. So you see, this is what we have. We have feet 126, kg 196, liter that is 96, and number is 109. So this is a total of everything that we can do. So let me remove this, and let's go and do for the categories. So I'll just put the categories. You see, these are the categories that we have. Then I will print it here, and this is what we got. So we have the category of 1, we have 102, category 2, we have 118, category 3, we have this, and we have that. So now the next thing we are going to do, each product, we want to know the number of categories each product has. So when we need to do that, then we need to create the product of columns. You see, we create a column of product 1, product 2, 3, 4, 5. So by default, then we need to have the count of the product. Drag it and drop it under values. Then it's going to give us each product and its count. You see, this is what it is. Under this product 1, we have category 1 of 13. Under this, we have category 1 of this. You see, these are the number of category 1. Sorry. Number of category 1 from here to here up till 9. These are they. From here to here up till this, these are they. And you see, it just segregate everything and give us whatever we need based on the categories. So this is something that you can do with pivot table. So go ahead, please. Okay, let me work one thing that has to do with the dates. So I'll drag the date and I'll put it here. So you see, by default, when you drag the dates, that is especially when the date is in this, the number, the date, and month, and year. So when it is like this, by default, pivot table is going to create month, quarters, and years for you. By default, that's what pivot table is going to create for you. You see, it puts everything. We have the date, we have the month, we have the quarter, and we have the years and everything. So by default, I'm going to use only the let's say, let me use only the month. I'm going to get rid of the rest. So I'm unticking this, and for the date, I will untick it. So you see, I only have month, January to December, but take note, the data is for 2 years. So that means if we say January, we mean 2 Januaries. If we say February, we mean 2 Februaries. That's what it means, because we said is by date, because it's not yearly data, is 2 years. So please take note on this. You need to understand about that. Because if, for example, we say, okay, we need year, and I remove month, So you see, it will give us 2021 and 2020. So let's see how much we made in 2021 and 2022. Where is the selling price? Let me just have it. This is the total. We have 24,732 and we have 24,837 in 2022. So by default, you'll know which year you have much and which year you have some. So if I say maybe I need the month, so I will just click on the month. I'll get rid of the year. So it will give me each month. But this month, like I told you, is 2 January, 2 February, 2 March, 2 what, and 2 that. So that's what you can do for it. And I can also have for the quarter. So you see first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. But this quarter is for 2 quarters. First quarter of 2021 and 2022, second quarter of 2021 and 2022, and the rest. So you should take note on the dates. This is how the dates will look like. So by default, you can know which product is being sold within a particular month, for example, or in a particular year. So by default, we can have the products like this. We can have the products, and I can create for the year. I can create a column for the year. Then we can get the total quantity per each year. You see, product one, we sold 59 in 2021, but in 2022, we sold 35. Product two, we sold 24 in 2021, but we sold 70 in 2022. So this is how you're going to look at it and understand how all this pivot table works. And I think after seeing all this is where we are going to draw the curtain and we'll call it a day. So if you have any question, please can ask your question. If you have a question, you can ask your question. If you don't, maybe I'll just put the I think put all the videos together and upload it to you so that you go ahead, watch the videos and try as much as you can to do whatever you want with the date. So that's where we are going to stop. That's where we are going to stop. So I didn't see any question. I think we are going to call it a day because yeah, it's been a while. We spent about more than 10 past 10 today. So I think we are going to call it a day so that you just go ahead and keep working. And okay, the last thing, sorry, even though yeah, we will continue tomorrow. Don't worry, tomorrow we will talk about that. We'll continue tomorrow. I'll show you something. Then yeah, we'll finish the pivot table tomorrow and we'll call it a day. Somebody is asking me the difference between Google Sheet and Excel. Please Google it. Sometimes I don't want to talk about things that I didn't teach you. Seriously. Yeah. I'm very sorry. Ibrahim Muhammad. Google it and you can understand it by yourself. There's no difference between them. This one is created by Microsoft Word. This one is created by Google. Because there are just few different things between them. Where something is in Excel is not where it is in Microsoft in Google Sheet. That's the difference. But all of them are spreadsheets. All of them are spreadsheets. There are different spreadsheets, not only Google, Microsoft Excel, Google Sheet. There are other sheet spreadsheets softwares. Of course, now there is no way Google Sheet will be as much as Excel, and they are not the same. I've already told you they are not the same. Google Sheet and Excel are not the same. They are two different softwares. They are not the same at all. Please, it's just some similarities that they have. They are not the same at all. So when you see some function in Excel, you see some function in Excel. Please, Najibu, I saw your question. Difference between VLOOKUP and index match. Go and watch our videos. I discussed about it. You didn't watch the videos. You didn't discuss the video, and you are still asking me. I saw the question since, and now you are still dropping the question. The difference between VLOOKUP and index match. Okay, you want me to come back now and start talking? I'm tired. Go and Google it and get what is the difference between. So I think there is no any question related to what we did today. So I think we can call it a day. So please have a wonderful dream and good night to you all. Please take care.